I think to kick it off, I'd just like to again thank our fans. Playing at DKR is special for our players, and it means a lot when you can come home after being on the road and having the turnout that we had, and we've done pretty well at home. I think we're like 17-1 in our last 18 games playing in DKR. So any opportunities that we get to play here, we cherish them and we embrace them. And that was an easy 11 a.m. kick after Halloween for our students. So students, thank you. All right, Longhorn Nation showing up. That was big time. It was a really good win for us. We knew going in, Vanderbilt was a very good football team, a top 10 team in the country. And the biggest thing about getting that win is to be 4-1 in the SEC and to put ourselves in position to compete for a conference championship here with 3 weeks to go, I think is huge for us. And so, when you just look at the game in general, I think that there were some really critical points to be made of how we played. We really challenged the players on starting fast, of really coming out with an attack mindset. And I think that we did that. Playing the first quarter up 17-0. We talked a lot about how efficient Vanderbilt was as an offensive football team and how could we get them off schedule. And, clearly we did that. I think we had 10 TFLs in the game, 6 sacks in the game. And then conversely, offensively, how could we help the defense that way, but also what it was going to take. We knew going in it was going to be about an 8 to 10 possession game. And so this wasn't like Mississippi State where I think we had 16 possessions in that game. And so we had to be good early and we had to be efficient. Well, we didn't give up any sacks. And Vanderbilt, I think, had 21 sacks coming into the game. We only had 1 TFL in the game offensively. We were 7 for 11 on third down, but we put ourselves in manageable third downs. We've talked about this about, who are we going to be in 3rd and 1 to 6? And in this game, or 3rd and 1 to 7, I think in this game we were 6 of 7 in those scenarios. And so when you put yourselves in those situations, then you have to convert them. And we were able to do that, which was a huge component for us. And then coming out of halftime, it was the same message to the team. How are we going to start? How are we going to play the second half? And to win the third quarter 10-0, I think was a huge component on that front. I thought Arch played a fantastic game. Going back and really watching the tape now numerous times, he was very efficient. I thought he threw the ball extremely accurately. It's one thing not to throw the ball down the field all the time, but you got to put players in position to make plays with the ball in their hands. And I thought our receivers really did that. But the accuracy in which he threw the ball on some of those throws, going back to the very first pass to Ryan Wingo, Ryan doesn't have to break stride to catch that ball to go break those tackles. And there were numerous plays like that in the game. So he's playing at a high level for us right there. And then, again, the run game, I do think there's more meat on the bone, even now more so than after I watched the tape. So I think there's room for improvement there for us. But to outrush that team who leans into the run game, I thought was big. And at the end of the day, the fourth quarter, there's definitely things that we're going to have to improve upon on that front. We should be better in those scenarios with the pass rush that we have. But clearly we were banged up in the secondary, and there was a moment in there where we didn't have either starting corner, we didn't have either starting safety, and we were holding on a little bit. And we've got to play more with a mindset of going to win the game, not just holding on not to lose the game. So that'll be something that we get to work on. But I think this bye is coming at a great time. We were able to survive that 5-game stretch going 4-1. And we found ways to win games differently week in and week out. And now we can get healthy and we can get fresh. And that's really the biggest point of emphasis for this week. We got to get healthy. We've got to get Michael Taft, Jelani McDonald, Ryan Wingo. There's enough guys that are banged up, and they should be banged up. We've been playing a lot of football in our conference, and it's November. So we got to get healthy. We've got to get fresh. And we've got to get ready for a very good Georgia team here in a couple weeks. And so it's a good place to be. It's good to be 4-1 in the conference. We've got 3 big games to go here in November, but none bigger than Georgia, which is staring at us here in a couple weeks.